How's it going, guys? I'm going to give you my Disney Blu-ray and DVD collection. Now, before I start, I just want to say that I recently got out of the teenage Disney hate or Disney lack of watching Disney or something. I've just gotten out of that phase. So I haven't been really watching Disney until about 8 months ago again. So really, I've had to rebuy all of my childhood films that I had on VHS, and I've been buying them on Blu-ray. And I have a couple of DVDs from before I went off Disney. And I just want to say as well, quickly, that if you're expecting a mega collection full of every single, or almost every single Disney Blu-ray and DVD, then you're not going to get that. What I'm planning to do is trying to get as many as possible. You know, the ones I like, I'm not going to get them just to get them. But there's a great deal that I want to watch, most of which I've already seen. And yeah, I've only got about 25, 26, and I basically set these in order, so it'll be classics first in order of release, then I believe it is the sequels, the direct-to-video sequels, then it's Pixar, and then I've got a couple live-action ones that I want to show you. So anyway, let's start off with, now first one, I have the very first classic, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Now, honestly guys, I'm not a big fan of this one. I didn't like it as a child, and everyone basically says you have to buy this. If you're a Disney fan, you've got to buy this one. So I thought, you know what, I'll buy it, I'll give it a watch, see if I like it this time, and you know what, I couldn't get into it. So unfortunately, that's that one. Couldn't really get into it, but Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the first Disney classic. Next up, I have Pinocchio, one of my favourite films of all time, and one of my favourite Disney films. Yeah, just such a great film, brilliant, I prefer it now. More than I did when I was a kid. And I loved it when I was a kid, so I really do like it again. And just great film, yeah. Next up, I have Peter Pan, another one of my favourite childhood films. Love this equally as much as Pinocchio. I really can't split the two. I can't really say which one's better. But Peter Pan itself is my favourite childhood story. It's not just this film that I love. I love the sequel to this, Return to Neverland. I haven't unfortunately got that yet, and I want to rebuy it, so I will be getting that at some point. And also other Peter Pan related films, and I love them, but this is one of the best Peter Pan adaptations. There is one I prefer more, but I won't tell you what that is. So yeah, there is Peter Pan. Next up, Lady and the Tramp, one of my first ever actually free film from Disney Movie Rewards. Yep, so I got this one, and I like it even more than when I did when I was a kid. Again, there seems to be a trend of me liking some of these more now than when I did when I was younger. But yeah, I do prefer this now. Now I'm older, I prefer it even more, and I just love it. It's a great film, really good love story, my favourite love story. I don't really watch many love story films, so, I guess that makes the picking slightly small. But yeah, I love Lady and the Tramp, brilliant film. Next up, this is my newest one, Aristocats. Just got this today, again for free, from Disney Movie Rewards. And I'm just watching this literally right now. I am 19 minutes and 38 seconds into the film. Loved this when I was a kid, so, the first 20 odd minutes I've seen again have been good. I like it still, so nothing's changed there, and this is Aristocats. Again, another one of my favourites as a child. Love this film, really good. Next up, Robin Hood. Again, loved it when I was a kid, had to rebuy it. Just a great film. Now, when I was in HMV the other day, I saw this for sale for like £17. That's like ridiculous for this. I got this as a buy one get one free. I got this with Snow White. I really wanted this one, and I got Snow White for free with it, basically because everyone says you have to have Snow White. So, yeah, this was the one I wanted when I got Snow White, and it's just great. Prefer it as much as I did. I like it as much as I did when I was a kid. So yeah, still a great film. Next up is a DVD, Basil the Great Mouse Detective. Unfortunately, this is not available in the UK on Blu-ray. So unfortunately, I couldn't get it. I actually bought this recently. I bought this when I got Peter Pan, because basically I didn't realise that they had the American Blu-ray that I could have imported. So unfortunately, I did get this. And the quality is just terrible, and it's quite hard to watch at times. Even though I love it, it is difficult to watch because, let me just move that, it's just sometimes difficult for me to watch it because I do like good quality, I like the HD, I can watch DVDs, but this seems even worse than a regular DVD. I don't know if they just didn't put any effort into restoring it, or what happened with it, but something doesn't look great at all. One of the worst looking DVDs I've got, honestly. But you know, if they release it in the UK, hopefully they will. If they don't, then I guess I will import a American copy eventually. But I do have the DVD copy for now, and I love it. It's one of my favourites, a really underrated one. So just if you haven't watched this, pick it up. And in America, I think it's just called The Great Mouse Detective. The Basil is taken out. I don't really know why, but there you go. My favourite Disney film, next up, The Lion King. I think this is a lot of people's favourite. Tends to be either this or Aladdin. Sadly, I have not seen Aladdin at all. I've never seen Aladdin, to my own shame. But I will be watching Aladdin at some point. But this is one of my favourites, one of my favourite as a kid. But again, another one, I prefer it more now I'm older. It wasn't my favourite as a kid. Also, when I bought this first, I actually didn't think this was my favourite when I was a kid. It was the one I loved, but not one that I considered my favourite. Or I don't think even second or third. But now, I watch it now, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so much better. Why didn't I like this more as a kid? But you know what? It's a great film, and just the best Disney film for me. So yeah, there is Lion King. Next up, this is the first of the older classics that I'd never ever seen as a kid, and I only bought it recently, and that is Mulan. I heard a lot of good things about this film. And I really wanted to watch it. Like I said, I do want to watch, newer Disney films. I'm not just jumping back to my past and watching those. I want to watch the ones I never saw. And this was the only one so far of all the older films that I've bought that I haven't seen. But yeah, I really like this film. It's not my favourite Disney film, but it is really good. If people say to me, oh, you just don't like it as much as the others because it wasn't in your childhood, that isn't true, and I will explain why in a second. But yeah, I do like this film, but it's just not my favourite. It's probably one of my least favourites of the ones I own. Again, not because it's not from my childhood, because I'll explain why in a second. But I do like this film, but not my favourite. Next up is Tarzan. Again, really good. I love this one. Again, as a child, loved it. I think I preferred it more as a child than I do now, but I still love it. This was actually the last video that I watched, on VHS. This was the last one I ever saw, because I remember watching it. I remember putting another video in. I can't remember what video it was, and I remember my video just was like black after that. It just sort of like did the grainy, weird image, and that was it. So this was my last watch on a VHS. This for me, so yeah, and it looks a lot better on Blu-ray, obviously. But yeah, great film. Next up, I believe this is the second oldest DVD I've ever owned, and that is Brother Bear. This isn't really popular for some reason. I look online at people's opinions of it, and people are generally like, yeah, it's okay. I don't love it, but it's not bad. This is one of my favourite Disney films, because it might just be because I was a child, and although it doesn't mean that it's always going to be your favourite as a child, when you watch things as a child, they're generally just, even if they're not as good when you're older, they tend to just have a special place in your head or in your heart, And this one is one of those for me. I do really like it, and it's one of my favourite Disney films, so there you go, there's Brother Bear. This was my second DVD and my first ever regular DVD purchase, as in, once I bought this, I never bought another VHS again. So this was basically the first regular DVD for me. I will tell you which one the first one is because it's in this collection. So there you go. Chicken Little, again, another unpopular Disney film. Some consider it as one of the worst or even the worst. I actually like this film. Again, might be because I was a kid when it was out and I just loved it as a kid. Not my favourite Disney film, and again, probably one of my least favourites of the ones I own, but I still love it. Yeah, I do like this film. So if you hate it, that's your opinion, but I do personally like this film. I get that it might not be like the regular Disney films, but I still like it. So there you go. I remember I said with Mulan that, you just because you don't watch something when you're a kid doesn't mean you're gonna not like it as much as other ones because you watched them as a kid. This is proof why that's not true. This is Frozen. Obviously, a lot of people know this one, very famous. Basically, destroyed the box office when it came out. I absolutely love this film, and this, to me, I consider this the second half of getting me back into Disney, because my first thing was, the film that got me back in was Brother Bear, and I just watched it. I hadn't seen it in years. And I basically said, you know what, I'm going to buy some old ones, and I'm only going to buy my childhood ones. I'm not interested at all in the, I'm not interested in anything else. I'm not interested in the newer ones, anything. I don't care about them. I just want to see my old ones. And then I saw this, and I was like, you know what, I'm watching new ones. I went and saw Big Hero 6, and I will get it on Blu-ray when it's a bit cheaper. But this film... Sorry about that, the camera died on me, but yeah, anyway, this is Frozen. As I was saying, love it. The film that got me back into newer Disney films, and I will hopefully be watching a number of the newer ones soon. The one I'm most looking forward to watching is Tangled, and then Wreck-It Ralph also. And I can't wait for Frozen 2, of course. That would be great, considering it is going to be a full Disney classic, not a direct-to-video crappy sequel. So yeah, looking forward to it. Next up is my my one and only Disney sequel. I will be getting more of these, but the one I've only got right now is Brother Bear 2. Like I said, I love Brother Bear. Not as good as the first one, but I do love this film, and hopefully I will be getting Brother Bear on Blu-ray soon, and that will join this one on my Blu-ray shelf. So yeah, that's Brother Bear 2. My camera's lagging a bit there, sorry about that. But yeah, I love this film, just great. Next up is the Pixar films. Now, first off, I have Toy Story, the complete collection. It will not be the complete collection soon when Toy Story 4 comes out in like 4 years. But yeah, this is the Toy Story collection. Now obviously I'm putting this first because of Toy Story 2 and 3 to obviously come after 1996. And Toy Story 3 was fairly recently, considering 5 years ago as being recent. Yeah, hopefully Toy Story 4 will be good. Toy Story is my favourite Pixar films. There isn't a one that I like more. I know a lot of people do always say, oh, I like this one more, I like this one more. For me, I can't say, guys, because honestly I change my mind all the time. I've tried saying, oh, I like the first one the most, or I like the second one. Actually, no, I like the third one. Fact is, guys, I like whichever one I'm watching, and I can't decide which one's better, so I'm not even going to try. I actually watched Toy Story 2 the other day, like 2 days ago, and I love that one. I love them all. So, yeah, Toy Story is my favourite Pixar, my favourite Pixar films, and they're just great. So, there you go. There's that. Next up is Monsters, Inc. My second favourite Pixar film. It's better than University. Unlike with Toy Story, where I can't decide, I can clearly say, for me at least, that this one is the stronger one of the two. Although I do like University, this one just beats it for me. Great film, one of my favourite childhood films, and I bought this like after seeing it on TV. I watched it on TV and was like, oh yeah, I love that film when I was a kid. This was near the start of my getting new Disney films, and I had to, I just needed to buy it on Blu-ray, and the quality on this is just incredible. Sully looks just so good on Blu-ray, it's unbelievable. So yeah, that's the next one. Next up is a DVD and a Blu-ray. I'm going to just show you these both. Finding Nemo. I got this yesterday from HMV, so I've got, and I actually bought 3 Disney films in the last week. One of them being free, because right now these Pixar films are cheap. This was my first DVD ever. I believe I got this basically. I think my mum got it me. I saw this in the cinema, and I believe my mum just got it me. And I don't know whether it wasn't available. She couldn't get the VHS copy. Obviously, I'm glad she didn't get the VHS copy. I don't know if she just couldn't find it or something, but this was the first the first DVD that I got. So yeah, but I needed to obviously upgrade. Finding was one of my favourite. My joint third favourite is Finding Nemo, so I had to buy the Blu-ray, and I just love this film. Watched this yesterday. It looks great on Blu-ray. So worth buying. So there you go, there's Finding Nemo. This is the other Blu-ray that I got this week. This was the first of the 3 that I got this week. You just saw it, I think, if you look carefully. The Incredibles. Unfortunately, I wanted it in the slipcover case that Finding Nemo came in. And that's what the image on Amazon had, but it didn't have it. I don't know why. I don't know if they had this standard version and the slipcover version. They just changed the picture on both. So I did end up just getting this regular version, which is a bit annoying, but I'm not too fussed. I really more so bought them because it was cheap right now. Like, Pixar films are cheap at the moment because they've just been printed out again. So I am buying a few Pixar films right now. Hopefully I'm going to get Ratatouille as well before they go. And maybe Monsters University on Blu-ray. But yeah, there's The Incredibles. This is my other joint third favourite, along with Finding Nemo. I just can't separate these two for me. I love these both. They're just great. So there is The Incredibles, great Pixar film. And the final Pixar film I own is Monsters University, just on DVD. The reason I got this on DVD is because I believe it was I just finished school, and my mum said, "Oh, you know what? You've just finished school." We were in Tesco at the time, which is it's just a shop in the UK. It's like a bigger shop, so it's not like DVDs and games or anything, or just DVDs. It's sort of everything. If you don't know what Tesco's is, I'm sure many of you do. But as far as I can remember, because it was only like a smaller Tesco, they didn't have any Blu-rays at the time, or they didn't have this on Blu-ray, so I just got it on DVD, which, you know, I will be upgrading soon, I hope. But, yep, I like this film. Not as good as the first one, but it's still really good. Now, I've only got 2 live-action Disney films. Hopefully I will be getting more, and they're both DVDs. So, yeah, just Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl, the best Pirates of the Caribbean, and On Stranger Tides, the worst Pirates of the Caribbean film. Just get my file out of the way. Yeah, I have seen all the Pirates of the Caribbean films, and I like 1 and 3 the most. 2 is okay. Stranger Tides is pretty crap. But yeah, they've gone downhill. But The Curse of Black Pearl is just incredible. You know, I've seen a few Disney live action films, and it's my favourite live action Disney film. And it's just great. Johnny Depp are really good as Captain Jack. You know, you got just a great film. It's just a shame that it's gone downhill, or they're milking this franchise now, because I think it's at the point now, because they are making a 5th film. I think these films are at the point now they just need to die. Let them die happily. I think they could push the 3rd one. They could do the 3, but I think when you got to the trilogy, they just needed to end it. So, yeah, that's this. So, yeah, that's pretty much my Disney Blu-ray collection. So, let me just move these aside. I want to thank you all for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And I will be doing more Disney collections as my Disney collection grows over the next couple of years. And hopefully I'll get to the point where I'll have a mega Disney collection.